A box full of ballots was just set on fire in Arizona, and the details of this story are just super crazy. So in this video, we're gonna dive into all of the information. But that was not the only crazy thing that happened in Arizona recently, because yesterday officials found over 120 guns in the home of a man who shot a Democratic office 3 times in the past 2 months. So before we hop into the ballot box details, let's talk about the man who shot at this office 3 times. Suspect in shootings of Democratic office in Arizona had over 120 guns in his home, officials find. And here we can see some of the bullet holes still in this office building. An Arizona prosecutor said the man arrested in the 3-time shooting of a Democratic National Committee office in suburban Phoenix had more than 120 guns and over 250,000 rounds of ammunition in his home, leading law enforcement to believe that he may have been planning a mass casualty event. And that does not surprise me at all. Who needs 120 guns and, more importantly, 250,000 rounds of ammunition? Now, I'm not a gun expert, but that sounds like a lot. Maricopa County prosecutor Neha Bhatia, I apologize, I know I mispronounced that, said at Jeffrey Michael Kelly's initial court appearance on Wednesday that federal agents told her about the large seizure made after Kelly's arrest. Scopes, body armor, and silencers were also found, she said. And a machine gun was discovered in the car that he was driving. It sounds like this guy was literally ready to go to war. The sheer size of the cache led authorities to believe that, quote, this person was preparing to commit an act of mass casualty. Police said that Kelly allegedly fired BB pellets and then gunshots at the glass front door and a window of the Arizona Democrats' field office in Tempe in the early morning hours of September 16th, September 23rd, and October 6th. Nobody was inside during the shootings, thankfully. Kelly is also accused of hanging several political signs lined with razor blades on Tuesday in Owataki, an affluent suburb of Phoenix where most voters have chosen Democrats in recent elections. Authorities said that the hand-painted signs were attached to palm trees and appeared to criticize Democrats and their presidential nominee, Vice President Kamala Harris. Kelly was being held on 3 felony counts of acts of terrorism and 4 other counts related to the shootings, according to police. A $500,000 cash bond was set with a requirement for house arrest and an ankle monitor in the event that he is able to raise that amount. His attorney, Jason Squires, said that Kelly was a retired aerospace engineer who at one time had top security clearance, had no criminal record, and was not a flight risk. Kelly's next appearance was set for the morning of October 29th in Maricopa County Superior Court. The Tempe location was one of 18 Harris field houses in Arizona where Democrats gathered to organize Harris campaign efforts. It was shut down after the last shooting, police said. Arizona is one of the battleground states where the competition between Harris and former President Donald Trump has been particularly intense. Political violence has already marred the campaign season, with the Republican presidential nominee being targeted by assassination attempts at a campaign rally and at one of Trump's Florida golf courses. So yeah, this was crazy, but we also have photos from this guy's house. And I thought it was just interesting to sort of see what we were working with here. So here's what looks like his yard, and then here's a crumpled up garage door on the sidewalk near his house for some reason. So here's some more of the garage door, and then wood blocking the actual garage. Now here's where it gets really interesting, because here's what appears to be the federal agents who are sort of raiding his house and, checking for all of the guns. So you can see them holding the firearms and investigating, and with the multiple cases that he has too. So this was really a large-scale operation to figure out how many firearms this guy had. And here's another angle that sort of gives you an idea. You can see multiple firearms here. And here's just another look, and you can see more into the garage here on this one. But there's just a ton laying on the ground, people are holding them. This is just absolutely insane. Now, if this is not the perfect example of needing common sense gun laws, then I don't know what is. Who needs over 120 guns? There is absolutely no reason that anyone should be allowed to privately own this many guns, and anyone who says otherwise, in my opinion, is just straight up crazy. But you know what else is crazy? The fact that a box of ballots was set on fire today in Arizona. So let's check out the details on that story. Arizona ballots damaged after USPS collection box set ablaze in Democrat-leaning county. Arizona law enforcement officials are conducting an arson investigation after election ballots were damaged when a USPS mail collection box was burned in Maricopa County, a Democratic stronghold. ABC 15 reported that crews responded to the USPS Osborne station around 1:30 a.m. on Thursday and found a mail collection box on fire. Quote, approximately 20 electoral ballots were damaged, along with additional miscellaneous mail, Phoenix Fire Department officials revealed, according to ABC 15. Phoenix Fire Department's Arson Investigation Task Force launched an investigation into the fire. Election officials said that they do not yet have specifics about the incident. Quote, we are waiting for details from law enforcement, Maricopa County Recorder Stephen Riker explained. We encourage all voters who used that mailbox in the last 36 hours to check the status of ballots at this URL. Successful delivery is usually reflected on that website within 72 hours, he added. Voters should be aware that tomorrow, October 25th, is the last day to request a replacement ballot. If a voter believes that they were impacted by this incident, they can learn more about how to make that request at this link. And in 2020, President Joe Biden defeated former President Donald Trump in Maricopa County by over 2 points. So this is just absolutely insane. Not only is this clear election interference, but it's also just dangerous to set things on fire. So I'm glad that they resolved this issue and it looks like nobody was hurt. Now, while it's currently not clear who this person who started this fire is voting for, I think we can all make a pretty good assumption based on the fact that this happened in a very heavily Democratic-leaning county. At least heavy for Arizona. And honestly, I don't expect this to be the only time that this sort of thing happens. As we get closer to the election, I expect the number of crazy events to increase, and I think we all know which party are the ones who are actually committing this clear election interference. Because as much as Republicans like to claim that the Democrats rig elections, it's really only them in the news for doing stupid stuff like shooting at a Democrat office or setting a ballot box on fire.